Oh, did you see that? See that? He's in the net. Where's the crankbait? Oh, it's right there. Golly! I knew they were in here. I knew it. Yes! Cranked up a good one. Good crankbait fish. Pretty sure there's a whole demographic here that lives on natural light and Vienna sausages. Oh, that. Hey folks, I am somewhere in Tennessee. Just left Christine Fisher's house. We did an install video of the Boondocks Ruck Rack and the Rod Pro, and now I'm heading out. I got a couple days to kill in between doing that video and going to the Kayak Adventure series in Kentucky. Unfortunately, so many of the rivers are blown out. Even these Tennessee-based Tennessee River, reservoirs, lakes are kind of trashed with a bunch of debris floating in them. And I don't know, when this happens, I tend to want to just go to the top of whatever watershed that I can find that I think is already cleared, and that's where I'm headed right now. I'm gonna go to a wildlife management area, and I'm gonna camp with the rooftop tent and fish one of these all the way at the top of the watershed to hopefully find some clean water. So, because of the hurricane in this area, there's a lot of places where you cannot get gas, and I'm at 3/4 of a tank. I'm filling up every chance I get a chance, get the opportunity to fill up, because you don't know when you go into an area where they don't have power and you have to pay with cash and there's a line. I think most of it's in western North Carolina, but I'm just making sure. Yeah, they're definitely seeing some storm damage here. Two big old root balls at the last intersection. That was a bunch of trees. Alright. I know they got some rain, but it isn't nearly the magnitude of everything else in the region. Part of it is it's only that wide. I mean, I can cast to the other side from here. So that is what you get when you fish the very top of the watershed. In this case, I know this water. I don't get to fish it very often, but I know that there's good smallmouth here. So this isn't far from the wildlife management area. I'm gonna head up there, set up my rooftop tent. Hopefully there aren't any trees in the way. We'll see. If there are, I do have a chainsaw. Okay, well, I think I'm on the wildlife management area. So if I pull up here and find a place to park, I'm not in the way. I think they say it's closed because there's so many of these down trees everywhere. So we had a very full stream right there, and yeah, we got a bunch of power lines down. So, there's a transformer. Guess I'm gonna find a spot right around here somewhere. I don't know how I'm turning around, to be honest. It is loud. It's a lot of water. So I'm just trying to turn down. This is super narrow. The creek's like right there. And there's this little bridge, but it drops off precipitously. So for sure, the Aqua lights here were helpful. For sure, having the boat sticking out the back was not helpful, but it kept me from going over the edge there. All right, I guess we're gonna get out of here. All right, well, here's the deal. Anywhere that I park on this road up to the wildlife management area, which I don't know that I'm not on it now, and I might, you know, be legal per their rules of just stop and, hey, this is dispersed camping. I think I'm legal to do that, but it's kind of not cool because somebody with a power truck needs to get up there. I might just go back and ramp camp. All right, time to set up the tent. I love how quickly this goes. Being that it was dark, you really didn't get to see how tight a spot I was in up there. It was nasty. When I was up by the downed tree that knocked down the power, it was actually a phone pole, or power line and phone pole. There was a mudslide right next to it, and I didn't realize. I was trying to back up, and yeah, I backed into a mudslide, and I looked up and it was just rock and mud that was all fresh and like still very loose. So that was a dicey situation. Man, the Aqua lights in this really make it nice. I'm gonna get my bibs ready for tomorrow. I'll go ahead and throw those up in the tent with the boots so I can get dressed directly into these and launch right away, start fishing.
So I've been laying here debating whether I'm gonna drive a few miles up into nearby town, see if they actually have power and get a cup of coffee, or whether I'm gonna slug a Red Bull out of the cooler. I do need caffeine.
So I'd check the gauges, knowing how much rain we got down here, and I think the local gauge here read something like, well, whatever it was 7.5 feet higher than where it's at. So it's dropped 7 feet in a little under 2 days. See this leaf line? I think it was up here. Does that look right? Is that 7 feet? from high water mark where all these leaves are deposited up here all the way, I don't know, like look straight across. Does that angle down to that water look like 7 feet? I think it is. I think it's exactly what this river can do, and what how much of a drop near the top of the watershed. Mind you, small water, very small water, but less than 2 days. And it's because it's the top of the watershed. That's kind of the point I'm trying to drive home. I've talked to a lot of people in this part of the country that are looking for somewhere to fish and think, you know, hey, everything's trashed. Yeah, main stems of all the rivers are absolutely trashed. I think we're going to see some interesting, look at how all this is just laid down. We'll see some interesting new log jams. I don't know how far down I will go and how far, maybe even how far up I can run with a motor. It's probably the safer route is to go up that way, but we'll see. We'll get in and explore, see what we can get into. Hopefully I don't get in over my head with turning the corner and seeing a big log jam I can't avoid. I don't think it'll happen with the motor. I think I can whip it around and U-turn and floor it and figure things out from there. Cram too much stuff in these gear boxes. A lot of stuff that fits. So this is the smaller version of what we installed on Christine's truck.
Now this is the Boondocks Rod Pro, the metal Rod Pro. It has locking doors on both ends. It will store rods up to 8 feet long, and you can get up to 16 rods with reels in this.
She got the Rod Pro, which holds 16. I say this holds 6. You can get more in it, especially if you put them in butt first and then you put tip first and kind of alternate. There's quite a lot you can do with it. So there's 2 that I'm leaving behind, and I think I'm only bringing 4 on this trip. Let's take a look at what those 4 rods are and what's tied on as a starting point. So I got, looks like 3 spinning, 1 bait caster, 2 of the blanks, or the Eternity RX10, most sensitive rod that I've had. This one's a medium heavy. Keller Batson actually made this one for me. This one I made myself. Check out the rod building or the custom rods playlist. This one's a medium light, and it's good for throwing that 5-inch scented jerk shad. Real finessey presentation. If we look at what's at the tip of the medium heavy, that's my palmetto bugs with the 1/8 ounce tungsten bullet weight. It's pegged. The judges, on the other hand, this is a rain shadow judge of both judges, have a good moderate action. They really fight fish well, and for that reason I got the cull shad with the treble hook on this. Any treble hook baits, it really power fishing baits. In this case, this one that I made is a spinning rod, same blank, judge, medium heavy. This one, I got that fun little decal on there, and we got the jackhammer, 1/2 ounce with the 7-inch scented jerk shad. So I'm throwing some big bait. All right, I'm underway, zooming downstream because I fish better. Moving up. Oh, I got a rock bass. Throwing the palmetto bugs in this eddy. Surely there's got to be something bigger in there than a rock bass. Kind of like it to just rain or not rain, and it keeps going back and forth between, like, this is the most actual rain that we've had since I launched, and even breaking camp, but like it does this, I don't know, where it's just gonna mist and not, but it'll get you soaked. But it's so humid when you put the rain jacket on, you just, you sort of bake. And I talked to a guy at the ramp. He was filling up 5-gallon like water containers, not for drinking, but for flushing his toilet because they have no power. Right where I'm at, before it started raining, I could hear there's a generator up on the hill right behind me. So these folks do not have power. Gull shad, anyone? Yeah, I think I can navigate up through this. One in the Whitewater. First one. First smallmouth on the jackhammer. Yeah. So that fish was up in probably the largest shoreline eddy right behind that rock. I'll cast in there a few more times, see if he has friends. Might throw the palmetto bugs in there as well. Love being able to hold position in pretty strong current. That was just a one fish spot. We'll go ahead and head downstream. Throwing the jackhammer. This river got green, but it's still really, really pushy. And these overhanging branches are just coming at you fast. You gotta kind of keep your head on a swivel. Realize they're coming. Difficult spot, going right into a rapid. We'll go back and look at that spot. No, we won't. It's too much current. It's an outside bend with a lot of rocks. We'll hit it on the way back up. All right, I pulled over because I saw one area that had a whole lot of trash. Real easy spot to grab a whole bunch for the onion sack here. Build some good karma with the river gods. Found some interesting stuff. A pair of sunglasses. Might use those a little later when the sun comes out, but you know, it's only partly sunny today. I'm pretty sure there's a whole demographic here that lives on natural light and Vienna sausages. There's a whole lot of that sort of trash here. Let's see, someone lost their soul. And let's see, somebody else lost the whole boot. One more tube socks from 1983. Yep, it's a good haul. Look at all that debris on the front of that bridge piling. All of that is fresh and kind of unstable for a while. Here's something interesting, probably victims from prior year's floods. Looks like that windshield reminds me of a 71 Chevelle I had. I don't think it is. I think it's probably late 60s. Something, hard to tell. That front end looks like Buick or Oldsmobile. Hard to tell. But there's 1, 2, and on the other side, three vehicles in that jumble around the bridge abutment. Probably people that just parked there and it just washed it down into that little spot. So I'm throwing the coal shed, but these leaves keep getting on them. I think that's only going to get worse as we get further into fall, but I know it's a big fish bait. I know that I need to throw it as much as I can, but I don't know. I feel better with the jackhammer in my hand. I know the jackhammer is better in noisier water. I think that, you know, I've pulled away from that rapid, and these eddies on the bank here are a little more gentle. It's nice depth. Outside bend, a little bit of rock, for sure a lot of root balls. Slung him around. Good shoreline eddy. And I'm being slammed into shoreline wood. Gosh. Like I said earlier, I wish it would just pick. It's gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. It's like this tropical low just is not leaving us. It's been, I don't know, it's been many days since the main part of it. I think it swung out into the middle part of the United States, and then we're getting the remnants. I'm pretty confident I'm around big fish. I have not had big fish come up and sniff at the coal shad, which surprises me. I'm gonna go down, bang around in their face with the DT6. I got more of these after being up on the Wisconsin River, and I was happy with those chartreuse and blueback ones. Thought, all right, what color can I get that is crawl-like? So got that black and red. I don't think that they're red craws in here. I think it's just black and red kind of stands out. And I don't think they see red at all. I think it's probably a shade of gray. So I'm definitely targeting the banks in the swifter sections, but this is a little bit slower. Still got good flow and some depth, and that's one of the things I wanted to kind of explore with the crankbait is mid-river stuff, which seems funny this soon after a pretty significant flood. But you know, these these deeper, wider sections, yeah, they can be on the bank, but they can also be in an isolated boulder out here in like 6, 8, 10 feet of water sometimes. Okay, found something on the crank. Oh, he's off. He was, oh gosh. That one had some pulling right on this, coming up on this big rock face. Gosh, I lost one. Oh, they're here though. And they ate the crank. Gosh, can't believe I lost that guy. There was like no head shakes, just grab it and run, which is pretty common for a big fish. Did I just not put the hooks into them? I know it tells me I'm doing something right. That was big fish behavior, for sure. Alright, here's one on the crank. Not a big one, but it's a crankfish. Crankbait. Crank in the deep water, rocky outside bend. Yeah, it's good for this little guy. I really had a big one now. I'm gonna crank this a lot. Oh, little guy got off. Alright, I'm right at the tail end of the pool, throwing down into the push water. I hooked him in the side, but you were messing with it. I know you were. You probably had it in your mouth at some point. So by the sounds of it, you can hear a big old rapid down there. And it sounds like this is the moment where I get in over my head. At least in terms of, floating down and then having to get back up. I might walk it. Walking it might actually be a smart move. Because there's like an island in the middle. There's, looks like some sneak water on the right, but the sneak route on the right side of this island, which isn't usually an island, by the way, can have log jams in it. And if I just start paddling and motoring and, I can get to a point where I'm like, ooh, I need to stop, and then you can't stop. So might be walking it. We'll see. But I like that pool. I've hooked 4, landed 2. And that outside bend big rock that was, where I had that big one on. We got another outside bend at the bottom of this rapid. I kind of want to run it, but I have no safety net. I don't have another person here to help me if I get stuck. I have no helmet. I think it looks like a kind of place I need a helmet. I usually advocate for keeping your rods pointed back. I'm actually turning them all around forward, putting them on my seat, because I'm going to lower this down tail first, mostly because that's which side the longer leash, the Rogue Fishing Company adjustable drag strap is on my bow. So I will walk down through here. On the other side, it's I looked at what's over there. It might be a 3. It's definitely a class 2. Maybe a 3. I gotta walk back up through this. I will give myself permission to give up and turn around if it's too nasty. We'll see. I can see the end of it, and I can run what's left without risk of, there's never zero risk of flipping, but I think the nasty part was over there, and I'm beyond it. So I'm gonna hop in, run this last little part of it, and understand I can whitewater a lot of stuff in a whitewater boat. You get in a bigger boat with a lot of expensive fishing gear, there's more at risk than, you know, ending up in the water. I actually double secured my dry bag coming down even this far. I got 2 clips on the back of the seat. You think through what items can you not lose here if you do flip, and that dry bag has keys to the truck. That is right at the top of the list of things not to lose. Alright, so I got turned sideways in that little channel there and had to lean hard into the rock to keep it from flipping and pinning it. It's harder to pin an inflatable than a rotomold, but it was, if I didn't lean into the rock, it would have happened. Let's look at an illustration that explains leaning into the rock, especially when you turn sideways. So I'm at a Airbnb in Kentucky a couple days after this adventure, but it's Sharpie time. Let's talk about leaning into rocks. Start off with the current is going this way. We're going to do sort of a side view. Here's your big rock. Right, there's the bottom. And say here's the surface. Okay. When your boat comes in, it's going to be approaching it roughly like this, right? Even with the surface of the water, what's going to happen is all the water that's piling up here, and you actually see it in that slow-mo, it starts to hit here and want to go up here. And if more of it jumps up here, it's going to push this side down, and this side's going to go up, and you're going to be ejected this way into the water with probably, you know, head trauma and then drowning. So what you want to do instead is, as soon as you hit this rock, you lean down with your body weight, which you see me do that. And what happens is instead of it flipping this way, the whole thing, I know I'm getting a lot of lines on here, but it orients like this, right? Your hull gets like this, which means the current hits it here and deflects downward, and you're at least stable. You're upright in this, and that's where I get out on this side. and I'm sort of safe. I've at least released the, you know, the possibility of it flipping that way. So it is so counterintuitive to lean into the rock, which is what you see as the hazard. The rock is not the hazard. Hug the rock, lean into the rock, love the rock. The rock is going to save you from all this water piling up on the upstream side. So you got to practice it. It's part of my kayak fishing classes I did years ago, and I'm going to get back into teaching those one-on-one with folks. And the rock broach drill is critical, and you just saw it in action. All right, hopefully that explains one of the risks, one of the hazards in a lot of current like this. I intentionally avoided, and I'm going to zoom and see if you can see that big rock. If I got turned sideways on that, that's a lot more flow and a lot bigger rock. That would have caused injury, and it really pushes you right into that. And you know, I looked down and I saw it. I'm like, I really don't want to get into that, because I mean, you can pull a couple draw strokes on the right side to kind of slide over, but you really have to get it right the first time. So, all right, let's hop back in here and keep fishing this beautiful river. Hit it at the boat. Nicer fish. Good. Good crankbait fish. Yay. Hey, this guy came up as dark as he could be. He was jet black. Hit this this black and red crankbait. He took it right next to the boat. He scared me. He's like, wait, I want that. Can I have that? Cranking. Winding, grinding, and finding. Crankbait fish. Like it. I don't always do it. I do it when I think of it. I know I talk about changing directions by swinging the rod tip, starting and stopping the bait, but man, the crankbait does really well with that change of direction right at the boat. And I'm not going to tell you that that's what I did to catch that last one. I mean, I was done. I was just pulling it out of the water, and he said nope, and he pulled it back down. But the figure eight is something that you know, if you're not doing that with the crankbait every once in a while, you're missing out. All right, that one feels better. Yep, that's a good fish. Great fish. All right, keep him booking. It's better than the last one. Ooh, did you see that? See that? He's in the net. Where's the crankbait? Oh, it's right there. Gotcha. Glad I tried the crankbait, starting to get more consistent bite out in the middle. You'd think with this, you know, being near, well, it was flood stage 2 days ago, that it would be, you know, a bank type deal. I'm picking off, I don't know if you can see on that fin, see the parasites? I always take a moment. If I can see them, I can rip them off. Yeah, you go back nice and clean. See you, guy. Yucky little leech-like parasites. That's partially why you wet your boards. Because when you don't wet your measuring board and you put it on there, those things can attach easier. Alright, I got one snagged. Time for the plug knocker to go down there and do its job. Man, if I can get it clipped on there. gradually. All it's got to do is get down to it. Yep. And it brings it right back. Good old pocket rocket. So I've got this dilemma. I just worked pretty hard to get through that. And I'm going to work hard to get back up through there. And if I turn 180 degrees behind me, I can hear another one right there. What do I do? Do I keep going? Do I give myself another probably difficult, slippery hike up through there in hopes of something really good just on the other side of that? Or even just, you know, more river that's, you know, that I can get around in pretty easily with the Torpedo. What am I gonna do? It's 2:18. I really should be out of here by 7. I don't want to do this in the dark. So I got 5 hours. I bet you I've come down 3 miles. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm at least gonna look at it. I should look at it. Let's look at it. I think my being abundantly cautious is warranted in this case. Most of the current is slamming into that bank. There's overhanging branches. That's a nice ledge drop. That's not the concern. The concern is getting slammed into that bank and tumbled by a strainer. And there's a couple there. I'm gonna keep dropping down. Try to keep myself from getting turned sideways. Keeps going. I've screwed myself. Work is cut out for me, and it's my own fault. It just keeps doing this. Well, let's just turn around and fish. And enjoy what we're going to work for. No doubt, lots of work getting back up. And then I got to turn around. It looks like good habitat right there. filled this whole area a couple times. Amazing. Alright, now we got a long run. Yep, we got some water to fish. Run hard upstream and get all this water to flow out the back. Yep. Cool. That's a freshly downed tree. This is going to be one of those days where I say, was it worth it? I caught trout. Look at that. Yes, if you go high enough up in the watershed, you get into trout water as well as the smallmouth. What is he? What kind of trout is this? He's gonna flop out in a second. Oh, that it didn't look like a brown. They're brown and have those dark dots. If it was a rainbow, he was kind of pasty. I don't know. Does someone know what kind of trout I just caught? A crankbait and a DT6. Yep, even the rock bass are getting in on the crank action. There's another trout. Huh. I don't know. Like the hardest part is going to be this part. I gotta drag up through right here, and then I think it's the next like half mile to three quarters of a mile, and then once I'm in that, you know, that pool where I missed the big one, first good one on a crankbait, it's easier. I won't say that I don't have to get out anymore, but it's fewer places. But it's almost 4 o'clock and I gotta be out by 7. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I need to start the dragging process. Well, one down, one to go. That was the steeper stretch. This is the longer stretch in one shot. So I am gonna catch my breath. Doing that is why I do both cardio and strength training, especially a lot of leg and core at the gym. But yeah, interval training. So my interval is that I'm gonna take this rain jacket off because I am sweated it up, and fish this pool. Get in there. What's up, little dude? Thanks for eating the crankbait. You got a parasite too. Gotcha. Okay, there he goes. Fish. It was on and off just a second right here. Alright, here comes the second long one. I think there'll be maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 places I get out after this, but it's not going to be this long glide of, where it just keeps going and going. And beyond this, there's not a lot of gradient until we get back up to the truck. I think I'm gonna anchor up right here. I'm on a different crankbait, just to give them a different look this time. It's also good if you're throwing a crankbait all day, just to change to a different one. Your hooks do get dull. Half a day of cranking and you're missing more fish because the tips bang around on the rocks, and I don't know, I like sticky, fresh trebles. So I'm getting that with this one, and this is the live target medium diver that I have painted myself. That's a very dark brown with high contrast white belly. Golly, I knew they were in here. I knew it. Knew they were big ones. Man, I changed that crankbait in like not many casts in. Got a big one. Yes. Thank you. You're an old soul. He's got a broken jaw that's healed up. Kind of healed up. Yes. Cranked up a good one. Cool. Yes. Happy. Right at the end of the pool is always a big fish spot, and he hit right off the bow. I'm gonna let you breathe, because man, it wasn't a long fight, but fresh trebles. He stayed buttoned. Closed mouth. I can just barely get this guy to 20. There's a 20. Yes. All right, let's get this one back in the water. Thank you. You're pretty. Feels like a good one. Yep, it does. Yeah, it's a good one. Can you stay buttoned, please? Gotcha. All right, you can breathe. Just chill. Yeah, you're gonna splat me. Okay, well then I'm gonna take you out. 16 and a half. Real pretty 16 and a half incher. We'll let this nice one go back in after a sniff. A little bit of, yeah, thank you, goodbye. Coming back to where I hooked and lost that first, what I know is a big fish by the way that it acted when it hit the crankbait and just didn't head shake, just went straight. It's a power move. It's a big fish move. Small fish start shaking their head immediately. And it's the same pull. I got the 16 and a half and the 20, and I just lost another one that jumped. I mean, it was a, I don't know, probably 17 and a half inch fish. And small water is like that. There's a lot of water that doesn't have many big fish, and it's got a lot of little ones. And then you got certain pools that just crank out the bigs. And I don't know. Yeah, you're decent. It's just a good pool. And sometimes you got to cover a lot of water. I'm having trouble with that one. You got to cover a lot of water to find it. Look in the Black Angus pattern. It was great. That cow. Hello, Moo. How are you? Oh, that's a good one. All the way at the top of the pool. Gotcha. All right. Heads and tails of pools. This is as far up as you can get. That has some calm water. That's all pretty swift. And a good one. Yeah, nice one. So I decided to actually rain and not just do this thing where it missed. Oh, are you kidding? Oh, that was a good one. So a lot of the better bites have been mid-pool, like just in the kind of place that, yeah, there's a real gradual current transition, but it's kind of, I mean, there's nothing you would pinpoint. All right. Where I feel comfortable making a presentation is usually pinpointing things like, you know, skipping something up in there where all the debris is, or hey, look, there's a root ball, let's throw a jackhammer up in there. But the crankbait bite has been a lot of them out in the middle, no man's land. Like, what's out here? You really can't tell, but it's straining a lot of this middle of the, you know, it's just middle of the river. Now, it's been a very specific amount of current, and the one I just lost, you come out from the debris, and it's calm. It's relatively calm there, but it was directly out from that, and that current is a certain speed. And I actually realized after I snagged on something out there that there is a log. I think it's a log. So stuff that you really can't see out in the middle, just chuck it and wind it, grind it, find it. There's stuff out there that these fish are on that if you're just beating the bank, either bank, all the time, you miss it. And the crankbait smashes into the kind of hidden stuff out in the middle. Out in the middle. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Get up here, get up here, get up here. Yeah. same area. And I lost the other one. Was he on that log? No, it was in that area. It wasn't that log though. Just find it, grind it, find it. And I'm happiest when it is grinding. There it goes. Stay buttoned. I didn't even see you. Oh, you're pretty big. Oh, wow. Yeah. Gotcha. Let's get over here and take a look at you. Yeah. So, I have not gotten out since I did all the dragging up through the rapids, and you know, it's been nice to use the motor and get up through this stuff. And I really like fishing upstream. Yeah, it's another 16.5 incher. So I like moving upstream with the motor. I don't like the dragging, but I had to do the dragging. Yeah, you're a good one. See you, guy. And I kind of figured once I got back to that one pool where I got the 20 and some other fish, just coming down through it, I was like, yes, I can get back up with the motor through everything up until that point. I may have to drag somewhere, but I feel like I can get it all done. That's my goal. And you know, I'm most of the way there. Climbing the Whitewater. That's what the Peregrine does. This isn't even full throttle. About 750 watts. Not surprised that they're skinny. They've kind of been on the treadmill on the highest setting for a couple days. Another 15 incher. There's quite a few in that year class, it seems. Oh, that's... Oh, you were hooked on the side. That sucks. Sorry, dude. So, said I had to be out here by 7. It's after 7. I'm losing daylight. I think I'm close though, so I'm not real worried about it. I'm gonna keep fishing whatever looks good. I'm not gonna fish everything, but it's been a good day for sure. I'm really glad that I got things going with the crankbait. It makes for a really fun bite. Got a couple on the jackhammer early in really aggressive whitewater spots. The crankbait just opened up a lot more places that I could fish and fish quickly and efficiently. Mid-river stuff that I don't know, I wouldn't have messed with otherwise. So I do need to get out of here. I'm actually headed to Timmy Dixon's. He's got a river-based business, a delivery service and shuttle service on the New River. He's sustained some damage to his property there, and he's got a little river cleanup. I'm gonna go help him out and bring myself and my willingness to haul things up and whatever he needs help with. So A lot of people that are struggling with this, you know, massive storm that came up here and destroyed so much. I'm glad I got a chance to, you know, to find good clean water by going to the head of you know, all the way at the headwaters of one of these rivers. And most of them are still totally trashed though, and it'll be good to see Timmy and help him out. Thanks for watching. See ya.